The moon is your mind. You can use the moon to your advantage. A full moon is very powerful. There are more police calls on a full moon than any other day of the month, the moon. The moon enhances our psyche, our internal state. If you are angry and a full moon comes around, this will be enhanced. And you will become a monster, a moon star, or a lunatic. Lunar is the moon. On a full moon, you should be visualizing, thinking and feeling the desired reality you want, because your intent, thoughts and emotions are more powerful on a full moon. This is why if you type in witches, they're always next to a full moon, because this is the best time to cast a spell. 28-day cycle of the moon, 28-day cycle of the menstrual cycle. It's in direct correlation with the moon. The moon governs liquids in your body. Fasting on a full moon is also very powerful because the water in your body is being pulled by the moon. That's why the tides of the ocean follow the moon. 28-day cycle, this is a month, a month. 365 days divided by 28, which is 13. There are 13 monthly cycles. Where is the missing month? We do not know what year we are truly in, people. I think they did this to stop us being in sync with the monthly cycle. What do you guys think? Porn is free because you are the product. Releasing too much is making you become mineral deficient. While living in the black cube matrix of Saturn, there is a deep meaning behind these black cubes you see in every major city. On the North Pole of Saturn, there is a hexagon, which is a cube. In your external reality, Saturn rules the roots of trees, bones, and underlying frameworks. Saturn is the god of conditions and limitations. This is why he's known as the god of time, because time is a limitation. Your physical body is a limitation for your infinite mind. Mind can project into the future and go backwards into the past. Your body cannot, because it's stuck to the three-dimensional world. The mind can expand into infinite fields of thought. There's nothing impossible with your mind. The energy of Saturn is being abused to condition your consciousness into a physical low state, trapping your mind in a three-dimensional way of thinking. Do this through religion, hence why all religions have symbolism of Saturn. They condition your mind through the educational system, hence why you wear a black cube on your head. This is why a judge wears a black robe, to enforce limitation and laws. Black represents Saturn. It represents dense, cold matter and limitation. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Head is heaven and heel is hell, and the bottom of the foot is called the soul. 144,000 chosen ones will go to heaven according to the Bible. 1 plus 4 and 4 is 9. 9 represents consciousness. That's why I is the 9th letter of the English alphabet, because when you say I, you're referring to your consciousness. 144,000 is a state of consciousness. That's why 666 adds up to 9, because the mark of the beast is the lower self. 66 is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thoughts, emotions, actions. 6 is the number of physical reality. That's why the cube has 6 sides, and you're in a cube now. You can only move forward, backwards, left, right, upwards, and downs. 666 is when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all based on physical reality, cutting off your spirituality. You are the beast in your lower nature. Your consciousness does not operate in this physical reality. That's why you must think outside of the box. The body is the box. The body is the beast, the animal. You are an individual. You exist in 2 realms at once, a material external reality and a spiritual non-physical reality internally, which is the compass and the square combined, spirit and matter. Internal spiritual world projects your outer material world. Spirit is heaven, matter is hell. Reason you feel so lost is because you don't understand your nature. Understanding who you are makes you feel so much better. They keep you stuck in the reptilian part of the brain, the instinctual. Instead, you want to move to the neocortex, where critical thinking takes place. Neo is plugged into the matrix via the reptilian brain on the brainstem, and he wakes up to the neocortex. That's why it's called Neo. Osiris never existed. He represents the reptilian brainstem. That's why he's green. The reptilian brain is always scanning the environment for survival threats. It's the closest brain to the rest of the central nervous system because it does not think. It's instant reactions based on fight or flight mode. Matrix is designed to keep you in your lower states of consciousness. Eating, lusting, consuming. They don't want you critically thinking using the neocortex. This is the part of the brain that processes higher states of consciousness. There is no shape-shifting lizards controlling the world. Symbolic for the lower mind that they're trapping you in. Join Ethereal University for a library, a manifestation course, lectures, and live Q&As. Santa is Satan. So this is Santa with the reindeers, and this is the god Saturn, also known as Saturno. The Roman god Santa is always depicted with a long grey beard, holding a scythe in his hand because he's the god of harvesting and time. In ancient Rome, they celebrated something called Saturnalia, a festival dedicated to the god Saturn. And this took place in December, just like Christmas. The summer times governed by the sun, the winter times governed by Saturn. Summer is life, the winter is death. December and winter is when the most deaths occur. So many people die in December. This is when Saturn harvests the souls. Christmas is actually Saturnalia, which is a celebration of death. Don't you think it's weird how we celebrate the winter death instead of having a celebration in the summer life? Symbolism literally doesn't lie. The word Saturn is Satan. Now, of course, Saturn is not a real human with a long beard. This is all symbol. Porn is free because you pay with your soul. Google is free because you pay with your data. When something is free, you are the product. They have two O's because they're watching your data. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. Every text you take, every person you call, every search that you type in is being recorded in a database. Therefore, your phone is tracking the collective minds of the masses. All of our behavior is being fed into an artificial consciousness, AI. You created AI by feeding your mind into these tracking devices. AI will control everything and make you a slave. Don't let your phone be a prison for your mind. That's why it's called a cell phone. Instead, spread the word to the world by reposting these videos that I make and earn an income from your phone. Many of my affiliates have quit their job, earning freedom, making an income from their phone. It's not about the money, it doesn't exist. It's the freedom you can gain from it and live the life that you truly want to live. Click sign up, fill in the form, download my videos, and repost the videos. I made this program for you so you can gain freedom and so we can spread an amazing message to the world. The link is in my bio to sign up. You are God. Everything physical began as a thought. This pencil, this book, this keyboard all began as a thought in the mind. The world around you is the effect of God's mind. He thought this reality into existence. You are living in the mind of God. You are a thought in the mind of God. And you possess a mind, a fractal of God's mind. Just like God thought this reality into existence, you are a smaller version of God and you use your mind to bring thought into physical reality. It's a fractal repeating process of manifestation. You're probably thinking, well, what does this mean? This means you are a creator. You are a magician bringing non-physical thoughts into tangible reality. It means God is not in the sky, and God is someone who can't save you. You save yourself by mastering your mind, because your mind can be a prison and it can be hell if you live in negative mind states. Every religion stems from self-mastery of the mind. By cleansing the mind and purifying your mental state and gaining full control over your mind, you can consciously direct thoughts and energy to the things you want to create in your life, instead of wasting all of your mind's energy on lust, food, and low-level pleasures. The name, the job, the reputation, and any external thing is not God. The true I am, the true source consciousness within you, is God. Climb the pyramid to higher consciousness and purify yourself of these external factors. And in this state is when the mind can create efficiently. Black Friday sale, use code GIFT. You don't need caffeine, you need charging. You are an electromagnetic battery and you have no energy because you're not charging your field. This is the force that gives you energy and life. This will give you electromagnetic energy because it's charged by the electromagnetic sun and grows out the electromagnetic earth. Coffee doesn't give you energy. The energy levels you get off coffee is the side effect of the toxic reaction it has with your body. It's a short-term effect that gives you fake energy. Real energy comes from grounding, the sunlight, and eating electromagnetic food. Coffee is toxic for your nervous system. They'll teach you about minerals and vitamins, but never tell you the most basic thing about the human body is that it runs off electricity. It's a technological machine. You get charged in a court because you're a battery, and then go to a prison cell, which is a battery cell where it holds your energy. They are harvesting your energy in prison. If you astral project and go to a prison, you'll see this for yourself. Energy cannot escape cubes. Everything today is built in cubes to trap energy. The ancients knew this. This is why their rooms were never square. They had pointed roofs for energy to escape. Everything you see molds your mind in some form or way. Cubes and squares are the most limited shapes. By seeing cubes and squares all the time, this is subconsciously limiting our minds. The ancients built with beauty and sophistication because they understood what they see has an effect on their mind. They changed this to dull us down, to make things more simple, to make you more simple. Environment, it's all mental, it all has an effect on your mind. I think you can work this one out yourself. Minds are expanding and people are progressing inside of the ethereal university. Do not stay in the shadow of ignorance. Progress your life with knowledge, people. Freemasons wear this symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is for the mother, because the woman holds a portal, a stargate into the physical world. That's why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter, all M's. Once you are made into matter in the womb, she then delivers the male. Every single one of us came through the mother into the physical world. That's why they're so important. Feminine, nin is 9. Masculine, lin is line. 1 and 9 adds up to 10, which is the binary code of all creation. 0 is the cosmic womb. 1 is the masculine pillar. These are the only two numbers that truly exist. That's why man adds up to 10, and so does Adam. Because we are made in perfection with the numbers. 6, 9. 6 is physical matter, the cube. 9 is spirit, spirit and matter combined. The woman combines your spirit with your physical body. If you feel lost and don't understand reality, read these books.
There was no year 0. You know why there's no year 0?
The word calendar comes from calends. Calends is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay off their debt. Calendar is an invention by Pope Gregory to remind people when to pay taxes. You are born into this copyrighted timeline, and this copyrighted timeline is on your birth certificate, which means you are owned by them. They did this also to lose concept of true time. We are not in 2024. The word month comes from moon, because a month is a 28-day lunar cycle. 365 divided by 28 is 13. We have 13 lunar cycles every year. Where is the missing month? This is where it gets crazy. We don't know what year we are truly in, people. The fluids in our body are in cycle with the moon. That's why women have a menstruation cycle every 28 days. The ancients would never eat anything on a full moon, and they would do rituals. Maybe they did this to keep us out of sync with the celestial bodies, because they hold influence over our consciousness. There's so much more that goes into praying is witchcraft. You are using words to alter your reality. Words create vibrational frequencies. Praying over food is changing the vibrational frequency of the water in the food. They are raising the vibration of the food before they place it in their body. Each cell in our body responds to the frequencies produced by thoughts, words, and emotions. Holding their hands together is an ancient form of meditation, because your hands are manifestations of your brain hemispheres. Placing them together completes the electrical circuit of the brain and the body, and allows electrical energy to flow through the meridians of the body. This technique was used to balance the hemispheres of the brain during meditation to access a higher consciousness. Jesus even says, "No longer will you ask me for anything." Instead of praying to Jesus, the Bible says, "Believe that you receive them and you shall have it." This way you trick the subconscious mind in believing that you already have it, which will manifest into your reality. You attract what you are. Music is magic. Be careful what you listen to because it molds your mind. Sex is sacred energy exchange. Your DNA and energy is exchanged, creating an emotional bond on the astral plane, which connects your soul with their soul, their emotions with your emotions. Don't have sex with just anyone. Their trauma and emotions can affect you. Sex is a sacred ritual which invokes a soul into the physical world, because the woman holds a portal and the man holds the key to open the portal from the astral into the physical plane. Performing sex with a negative mindset will invoke a negative soul. You must perform the ritual properly. Don't waste your sexual energy. This energy creates a human life. Transmute it to create something else. You shouldn't release unless you're making a baby. Releasing is making you mineral deficient and flooding your brain with dopamine, which is the brain's reward system. Releasing is tricking yourself that you've achieved something. This is why you have no drive, no passion, no energy, because you're tricking your brain that you've achieved something already. Women store DNA from every man they've made love with, which could even affect their offspring. In order for creation, there must be destruction. The woman goes through pain to give birth to a beautiful child. Every time you release, you're killing your creativity, your drive. Don't have sex with just anyone, and don't release your fluids. Mineral deficiency is linked to balding. I'll see you inside of Ethereal University. If you join now, you get a free sexual alchemy course before the price goes up. Pope is opening 5 portals. These are the locations of them. Connecting the dots of these locations creates the sigil of Lucifer. This is going to blow your mind. Sigil of Lucifer is your brain's visual field with the eyes. You don't see into reality. Light enters the eyes and an image is produced in your brain. Everything outside of you is just energy. Your brain turns it into a reality you can interact with. These rituals are all to do with perception. That's why he's opening 5 doors for your 5 senses. 5 points on the body, 5 toes, 5 fingers. 5 is the portal that connects spirit with matter, consciousness interacting with the material world. The Pope is not opening spiritual portals for demons. This was all a psyop. The portal they're opening is a negative portal in your own mind. This ritual was to create fear in our minds to make us project it into the reality. Because the physical world is just an externalization of our inner consciousness. By planting fear in the collective minds and projecting this reality to keep us distracted. This is what Lucifer is. Lucifer is you, your consciousness, your divine self, falling for the material tricks. Matrix. This is just another distraction to install fear into your mind. Money is a spell. That's why the word money has mon within it, which is moon. The moon represents your subconscious. The subconscious controls every system of your body without you being consciously aware of it. Money is just a piece of paper with no value, but your belief in your subconscious gives this piece of paper value, and this belief they installed in you is controlling your life. You are under its spell. A spell is not casted with wands like these movies show you. A spell is something someone's installed into your subconscious mind, and that belief they installed is controlling you. This is what it means to be under a spell. You break the spell by reprogramming your subconscious belief. We all wake up and believe that this piece of paper has no value. Then we have broken the spell. Magic is real. Teach all of this in my university. You have 5 fingers for the 5 elements. The skull corresponds with the elements. The jaw represents the earth. Water goes on top of the earth in the mouth. Air goes through the nose, fire is light in the eyes, and spirit is the 3rd eye. The 4 physical elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether or spirit. 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. Ether or spirit is the base of all physical matter. The 4 elements are the 4 vibrational states of the ether. It's the most important one, and that's why it's always on the top. That's why the middle finger is swearing, because they hid the ether. Satanic people turn this upside down to put spirit on the bottom because they are materialists. They represent Saturn. This symbol is not evil. The word scared is sacred for a reason, because they've made you scared of all the sacred symbols. This symbol represents the 5 elements of creation. If you want to advance in your life, I am now doing private one-on-one consultations. If you wish to talk to me, let's go on a call. Breakfast is break fast because they don't want you fasting to regenerate your body. So they programmed you to eat dense food in the morning, and then when you're tired by 10 p.m. you need poison coffee for more energy. All you need to do is to fast till 2 p.m. Then have fruit or a smoothie, something easy on the digestive system. 60% of your energy goes to the digestive system. So when you fast, this energy can be redirected into regenerating your body and producing stem cells. Your body's encoded with self-regenerating technology. That's why you cut yourself, it heals automatically. It's the same with illness. Your body knows how to heal the illness you have. You just have to move out of your acidic environment to an alkaline environment. So your body doesn't waste its time fighting off the toxic food you place in. Instead, it can redirect this energy into healing the body. Healing is not an overnight process. It takes months of an alkaline diet and fasting every week, and using these herbs to detoxify your temple. Meat, dairy, and these unnatural foods all cause inflammation in your body. Carrots are not healthy. Potatoes are not healthy. Broccoli and white rice, these things are all unnatural and made by humans. Your body only recognizes what was here on the day of creation, such as apples, figs, pears, strawberries, and all organic things. Lucifer is Venus. Lucifer in the Bible is the son of the morning, or the morning star. Just before the sunrise every morning, Venus shows up. Venus is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer or Venus governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. The physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The Matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Stop chasing low-level pleasures and learn to transform yourself to find your power. Start your transformation today before the price increases for the universe. The planets are not spinning balls in space. They are lights in the firmament. They give you the 7 chakras, the 7 days of the week, the 7 days of creation, and the 7 metals. Gold is a physical crystallization of the sun. That's why banks are backed by gold, because the sun is the soul of the solar system. It gives life to all things. Silver is a physical manifestation of the moon's energy. Mercury gives you mercury, Saturn gives you lead. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns back into light. Everything's made out of light. That's why the ancients were decked out in jewelry. By wearing the metal, you can harness the energy of each planet. The planets are different aspects of consciousness. They are energies, emotional states, and levels of awareness that manifest all conditions in the external and internal world. These are the Elohim. Read this book if you want to know more. My YouTube might help you understand this. Red fruit is for energy and vitality. Purple and blue fruit is for relaxation because it's high in antioxidants. Green fruit is for the digestive system and detoxification. Orange and yellow is for the brain. Whatever feeling you have is your internal guidance system. And if you know the colors of food, you can use this for your advantage. Your pits is not meant to smell. Your breath is not meant to smell. You're not meant to have runny noses. You're not meant to have smelly farts or smelly poos. This is all unnatural food seeping through your skin. We all have a natural odor for our bodies. However, we should not be smelling, and it should not smell horrible. If you have any of these signs, you need to go on a fruit-only cleanse for at least a month and start to fast and remove all of this toxic waste within the body. If you are not removing waste from the body, it means it's accumulating within the body, and accumulated waste can turn into diseases. If you are eating 3 times a day, you should be going to the toilet 3 times a day. If not, it is accumulating and building waste within the body. Have you ever wondered why the word ship is at the end of everything? There's a hidden spell behind every word. Your body is 60% water, and you were born through your mother's waters. When a ship pulls up to its bay, it's called the birth canal. The ship gives birth to the products on the ship. When the ship arrives, it gets a certificate of manifest certifying all the products on the ship. When you arrive in your mother's water, you get a certificate of manifest, which is your birth certificate, because you are a product to the system. On that birth certificate, there's a date, and that date is the Gregorian calendar, which is a copyrighted timeline created by Pope Gregory. Therefore, on paper, your name is a corporation and it's signed to a copyrighted timeline. When you get a letter and your name is in full capital letters, that's your corporation, not you. You can't tax a physical body, but you can tax a corporation. You are the I am, and your consciousness is identifying itself with the corporation, which is attached to the system. The word calendar comes from calends, which is the first day of the month the Romans had to pay their tax. God's calendar is a 28-day moon cycle. They made an artificial calendar to control you. Bank is a river bank, and money is water. That's why money in the bank is called a currency, because the banks direct the flow of the current. And that's why we call it liquidity. The English language is a giant spell to keep you attached to the system. Bless means be less you. A soldier is a soul dyer. You are weakened on the weekend from the weekdays. Days is unable to think in a state of confusion. On the weekdays you work a job, which is Hebrew for persecuted. On that job you earn. An urn is a vessel for the ashes of the dead. Awake is a wake. A wake is a gathering that takes place before a funeral. Hollywood is the holy wood, the wood from a holly tree. This wood was used to create magic wands. They cast spells to a broad audience through the tele-vision, through the Hollywood programs. The bottom of the foot is called the soul, and your heel is hell. Your soul is in hell. You must raise your consciousness to the head, heaven. Heel is hell, earth rearranged as heart, and head is heaven. They're inside of you, not external places. They teach you to say the vowels in this order, A-E-I-O-U, to train you to become a slave. They want you to think slaughter is laughter. The English language is full of hidden spells. Join my free Telegram channel. If you flip the human nervous system upside down, it looks like a tree growing from a seed, bearing the fruit of the heart, which looks like a fruit dangling on a tree. The tree growing from the seed also feeds the fruit of the spirit. The cycle of the seed is the same cycle of your life. The cycle of the seed is also the same as the parable of the sower. 12 cranial nerves managing the movement of the body, being controlled by the mind. 12 disciples spreading the gospel of Jesus. Jesus is the head. Jesus meets his disciples in the upper room. 12 imams of Shia. 12 tribes of Israel with the one left out. 12 zodiac constellations around the sun. Are you starting to see it? You are the son of God. Consciousness is connected to the source of the universe. Brain is a holographic computer projecting this reality. Consciousness is a fractal of God. Your life is a file. Your brain is the husband. Your heart is the wife. The husband, or the brain, is responsible for thinking, taste, touch, hearing, and smelling and sight. Wife is the heart, which is submissive to the brain, emotion, following, and doing. You're arguing because it's the brain against the heart. Thinking versus emotion. You must learn how to sync the mind with the heart. By studying the body, you can study how relationships are truly meant to be. The book in my bio will tell you everything. Kim Kardashian for Halloween wore a reptilian outfit. Many people are saying this is her true form. Maybe she is a reptilian. This looks very realistic. However, reptilians do not exist. There is a region within the human brain that is called the brainstem, which is also known as the reptilian brain. You use this part of the brain when you're in a survival state, fight or flight, eating and breathing. Essentially, this part of the brain does not think. It's always scanning the environment for food, threats, or even reproduction. This aspect of our brain is the lower mind, our animal self. Reptilians do not exist. Reptilians do not rule the world. But the reptilian brain at this moment in time is conquering human consciousness as a collective. Modern society only thinks about reproduction, food, and surviving. We are all stuck in fear and using this part of our brain. Get busy with the Wizzy, with the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never turned water into wine. This is going to blow your mind. Jesus spoke all things to the crowd in parables. Matthew 13:34. It's a symbolic and allegorical story about you turning water into wine. Fire is masculine. Water is feminine. Masculine is intellect. Feminine is emotion. Water is symbolic for emotion. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Emotion is the language of the soul. Emotions are communication from your soul. If you are jealous of someone, this is your soul telling you where you need to be in life. Every fear you have is showing you an obstacle for you to grow, to expand into your life purpose. Water into wine is symbolic in turning negative emotions into growth and expansion, transmuting hate into love, jealousy into your reality. Jesus represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness in physical form. Jesus tells you, whatever I can do, you can do better in John 14:12. Jesus is you. Baptism is symbolic of moving from earth into water, the second stage of consciousness, truth. Dunking your head in water won't do anything. Baptism happens within. Jesus never existed. The Last Supper is astrology. Each body part is ruled by a zodiac. Aries the lamb rules the head, which is why he's on the head of the table. Taurus rules the neck. He has a very thick neck for Taurus the bull. The next sign is Gemini. Gemini is the two arms, the two twins. That's why his hands are up for the two twins. Next sign is Cancer the crab with pinchers. He's holding a knife for the pincher of Cancer. The next sign is Leo, when the sun is powerful, radiant, and summer. That's why he's showing dominance with a clenched fist and an elbow on the table. The next sign is Virgo the virgin. He's pointing that there's no Adam's apple. This is a woman of Virgo the virgin. Jesus is the sun, the light of the world, the risen savior, the son of God. He's placed in a triangle to symbolize the sun's rays. One hand up for the daytime, one hand down for the taking away of the sun at nighttime. Libra is when the sun is balanced between summer and the winter. That's why Libra is the balanced scales, and the symbol is a half rising sun. That's why he's holding his arms out balanced. Next sign is Scorpio, with this man pointing upwards. Scorpio is our reproductive sexual organs. He's pointing up because you must raise your sexual energy up to Aries. That's why Aries is an anagram for arise. They're in 4 groups of 3 because there are 3 months in each season. Luke, Mark, John, and Matthew. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Jesus is the sun, which is our soul. Spring is our physical body. Summer is our spirit. Fall is our emotions. Winter